Good morning, everyone. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but done a few little things, not too significant to the property around the house. Nothing to the house yet. Um, I wanted to wait a little while longer for whatever work that they've done on the cement to cure for a full 30 days before I start doing anything. So that way, whatever um, uh, small little cracks here and there that cracked, you could say. Anyhow, so we're doing a couple of projects over here. My wife's been doing some gardening. We planted some bougainvillea to outline the fence over here. And over here, when they did the cement mixing over here, a lot of the cement basically leaked all over the ground. Mixed in the ground, and you can see it caused a lot of buildup around there. So the area here is quite hard. So if you guys ever gonna mix your own cement or have it mixed on site, I would probably put some 3/4 inch plywood. They sell some at the hardware store here that I believe is like plastic line. They use it to shape columns and so forth. Anyhow, so I would probably build one of those instead of having all over the ground. But this is kind of a blessing in disguise, and I'll tell you why. So I'm hiring a guy to break up all this, go back to its natural ground. So in the future, if we want to grow anything, we're not going to go through all of that to grow anything. I still gotta eventually burn this up. Anyhow, so it's a blessing in disguise, as you'll see. We're walking back to the house here. Ta-da! Now, this is my primary subject today, and I'll talk about this in a minute. But this guy here, he's been absolutely freaking wonderful. Worked for us for 3 days so far, and all the extra cement, I decided to go ahead and just line this walkway back here. Now the rain and everything else has pretty much been eating this area away, so I wanted him to reinforce this wall here across there. There's a little bit of drainage from the rice field from our neighbor over here. See that? And it's getting thinner and thinner, so I thought I'd just go ahead and reinforce that. I'm not going to cement it because it's just going to be costing a whole lot of money, and the cement laying on top there, I don't think it's going to last that long. But this here, I think is going to be quite durable for some time. Now we've given some property over here to the barangay. That there was actually our property line, but I couldn't. I want to reword that. So we gave this whole strip away all the way up to the front, so that way they're gonna eventually build a road, a cement road back here. Now we didn't want to give the whole thing, and the reason we did that because that's a walkway there, and we gained this property here back. So we gave away basically 3 meters. So we gained this area back. We'll move the fence over later on, if and whenever they build the road back there, it'll be a little bit more permanent. Now the water is receding. It's probably going to recede all the way over there in time, but I'm going to work on this underground pump to see if we can do some pumping to keep the water to about this level. I'm really happy with this level here. Anyway, back to why I'm making this video today. So in the Philippines, when you're on a property like this, and most property, they do not have a central water treatment plant. Almost everyone here has septic tank. So you have an option. You're gonna dig a hole in the ground, and you're gonna make a 2 or 3 chamber tank out of cement. But my problem with that is that those things are pretty expensive. I would say about $600 to $1,000. But at the same time, it can also crack and leak your raw sewage in the ground. So, what are we doing? We bought these plastic septic tanks and drilled holes. See that? This is the first tank. For the second, now we just guesstimate what it looks like. And it might have been a little deeper than we need, but we'll see. Third and fourth. Some of you asking, why are you doing 4? Well, normally here, what's required at this moment in time is 2. But I don't like 2 because I'm living next to my pond here and I don't want any contamination into the pond. So I'm going to have basically 3 aerobic chambers. First, second, and third. And the fourth, what's going to happen is that I'm still going to put a container in there, but I'm going to drill a bunch of holes around here, a bunch of holes, and drop into the ground. Then I'm going to fill it with gravel. Okay? So the first 3, I'm going to, because they're aerobic chambers, meaning aerobic bacteria is going to break down all the poop and everything else and the toilet paper, and then as it goes across, the water's going to get cleaner and cleaner and less sediments in there. But at the same time, just to be sure, I'm going to also get some aquarium pumps, or I might tap into my aerator for the fish pond. I don't know yet, but I'm going to send in aeration system to treat the first 3. And then the last one is just going to drain into that tank and into deep underground. If you notice that from here to here, it's an adobe layer. That adobe layer, oh my gosh, the dirt's like this. Okay? It's real thick, hard as that. So anyhow, pretty much the bottom has back to a little bit like sand. So anyhow, why did I do this way? Well, I did not want to create a leaching system where here's the last tank and it's going to leach out to here and wherever, maybe a T-shape or like an antenna. Why didn't I do that? Well, living in the Philippines here, it rains. The rainy season's about 6 months out of the year, maybe more. So what's going to happen is that I think, or I'm guessing, that with all the rain, the leaching system is going to work too well. Okay? And if I did it this way, you figure 3 to 5 gallons per flush, maybe a little less than that. I think the ground is going to soak it up just fine. The reason I know it's going to work just fine is because originally the land had a toilet already here. Okay? They lined it with cement, not very well built, as you can see, and it's just soaked straight down. If you can do that with the existing system before, my system will work just fine, and at the same time, it's gonna be environmentally more responsible, you could say, and that it's going to soak into the ground. Now, I have a backup system. The backup system is that I will put in a sump pump for the third, and turn on a switch. I'll run some PVC lines out and probably dump it way back over to there into another container or somewhat. I don't know yet because I have to see the quality of the water that's coming out. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but I got 2 more here. 2 more going. Why? Well, I am not combining the toilet water with the gray water, because with the gray water that's coming out of laundry and so forth, you got bleach, you got laundry detergent going in, and that's going to affect the workings of the bacteria. the aerobic bacteria that's going on. I don't want to kill it. I want to keep it alive and strong. So that way I'm not going to have any problem in the future. Now with the gray water that's coming from my sink, from my showers, it's going to come in here, and of course got the second chamber in here as well. And this is kind of where it's going to end. I will put another sump pump in here, work on a switch, and I will pipe this water throughout. Just going to use probably a 3/4 inch line. So we're going to use that water to water the plants, the gardens, and so forth. So that's a responsible thing to do as well. And plus, you know, some of the detergent and so forth got some phosphorus in there, which is also a building block for the plants, for the, what do you call that? Lost my word here. The amino acid for the making things grow. How about that? Anyway, that's what I'm doing. So let me show you this septic tank real quick. So this is a septic tank. I bought it out of Manila and I picked it up yesterday. I bought 4. Okay, 3 here and 1 already set in the hole for size. This is the cover for it. Okay. There's the sides here. Yeah, I think there it is. Now it looks like I'm going to have to drill another hole on that side, which is fine. I didn't count on that one yet. Anyhow, so these are the filters for it, and these are the compression fittings for the side. Okay, so as you can see here, it's going to go in, it's going to pour in, it's going to react down there, then it's going to come out to this side. Now that cover there is designed to go over here. So the stuff that's going to go on top of the cover, not the cover, the second cover. Then it's going to come out here. Okay, I'm probably going to have to put some sealant material around the pipes, but I haven't put it in there yet, so I'll film that later on. Now on these filters, it's going to be lined with gravel, charcoal, and back to gravel again, about 90% of it. Now that's only for the 3rd chamber. Now some of the housing development here on some of these little tract homes, they're only using 1 of the septic tank, and I think that's kind of irresponsible. They're only using 1, but on the outgoing it goes to a main canal to who knows where it is. But that to me is just nasty. Okay, now how much do these cost? Well, if you go to amapex.com out of the Philippines, they are a wholesale and a retail business. Now when I called them up, well actually I found them on I found another distributor, you could say, on Facebook. They sold it for 5,700 pesos, which is roughly 114 bucks per container. Per container with the lid and with the filter. So first company I called, they wanted a deposit. They wanted to deposit half and half on pickup. Well, you know, some of you knows as well as I do, there's a lot of scamming on the internet, especially on Facebook. And I wasn't about to throw them 200 bucks through deposit somehow and, you know, have that disappeared possibly. So I went ahead and contact the company Amapex directly through their sales, because they do wholesale and they do the retail as well. Ask them how much. Well, they said 6,500 pesos. So that's that's 2,000 pesos more. I'm sorry, 1,000 pesos more, which is $20 more than what the other private sellers are selling for. So I kept on looking. I didn't want to give up yet, so I found another sales for 5,700 pesos. And well, turns out that this person says I can pick it up in Manila, and there's no. She didn't talk about any deposit. I told her I will be there between 8 and 10 a.m. I'll drive there from all the way from Paniqui and pick it up. And sure enough, I arrived. The person who's selling it is actually a main distributor of the containers. He had it ready to go for. So he loaded up onto my Hilux pickup truck. We strapped it down. One mistake is that, um, even though these containers here, they're heavy duty, there's a place for me to tie off with a rope, with straps and so forth. Um, we were entering the Skyway in Manila, and we got pulled over right away because I didn't have these stupid tarps on. That's another story. These tarps, I mean, if I had a bunch of small stuff that could fly out, yeah, they're very useful. But tarps holding down this and it's considered an unsafe load, well, that's just total BS, because there's no common sense that's being applied here, and there's a lot of no common sense in the Philippines. But hey, that's another subject. Anyhow, so I got 4 of these. I had to stop somewhere to find some tarps, and I just halfway put these stupid tarps on with the straps that we had. I spent 5 times getting off, pulling over on the freeway, and tried to tie them down so it doesn't flop everywhere, but that was just futile. I was so glad when I got off the expressway, and then I can just go as fast as I want without worrying about the tarps. Anyhow, so this is what we have for now. The guys are still digging. We're still going to test it out. I got to talk to them real quick about making it completely level across, and then we kind of go from there. So I thought I'd walk around the property. Maybe I didn't post any videos what my place looked like, but this is kind of our pride and joy, is that we have a fish pond here. We have tilapias, we have some dalag, or what I call bowfins in the US. But I think it's just beautiful here. So this is kind of, we own all this area up here. The only way, during the rainy season when the water is high, we can't cross it unless we walk through water. But that's okay. As you can see, the fence line across the fish pond. And over to there. Well, I think you've seen the front already. Anyway, the size of this property is originally 10,500 square meter. We gave away probably 500 to 1,000 square meter because of the right-of-way over there. But that's for the people. They got to walk back to their village back there. But this is my little oasis, you could say, here. What I plan in the future is that I'm going to build a bit of a wall here. So keep this area flat. Maybe line it with cement, I don't know. But I'll expose the man cover, or even actually the big cover off of this. My wife wants a swimming pool. Can't afford that. Not for quite some time. Okay, so that's kind of it for this morning. I'll do some more filming later on when I'm putting these septic tanks together, pipe it in, and so forth. But quick shout out to my daughter, my son, my mom, stepdad, and quick shout out saying hello. Thinking about you guys. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, like, and share the video. I'm pretty proud that I had 300 and some viewers so far, actually some subscribers so far, so I really appreciate you guys that are watching, and hopefully a little bit of continued fun making this video, with these videos. Take care.